Hello everybody, welcome back. Good to see you all again. Yeah, we're going to be doing some interesting stuff today. Got some more algorithm work to do with board placement. I've got a number of tweaks that I want to make to that because it's not working super well in particular cases. So going to be tweaking that, and then maybe we'll do some more art and stuff later on in the stream. But before I get into that, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for purchase. It's It's my first release as a commercial, or it's my first release as a full-time indie dev. And yeah, it's a great way to support me. It's a 2D roguelite shooter, so if you like those kinds of games, you might like that. I also have my new co-op multiplayer course available. This will teach you how to build online multiplayer games in Godot. So we go over all of the high-level Godot networking tools, multiplayer spawner, multiplayer synchronizer, remote procedure calls, all that good stuff. So all those things are linked in the description below. Very much appreciate all the support, and thank you to everyone who has purchased Gunforged and who has purchased the courses. Very much appreciate that. And of course, thank you all for being here and watching my content as well. So very much appreciate that. And yeah, let's get into what we're doing today. So I've been having a chat with my little AI buddy over here, and he's not actually helping me. He's making recommendations that are absolutely destroying my board generation here. So I'm gonna try to go out on a limb and do my own thing. One problem that I'm running into is, well, I can explain that in just a second, but let's go on. Hello, Kenyaz, welcome. Ito Makes Games, hello, welcome to you. Hello, Krames, welcome back. Densket, howdy, how are you doing? Welcome. Emerson, good morning to you as well. Are you making pixel art and 2D because you like it or because you can't do 3D? Personally, I like it and don't know how to do 3D. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I like pixel art, I like the way it looks. I think it's relatively, well, it was relatively easy for me to do and get into. I mean, easy is, you know, a relative term there. It was still difficult, but I think it was easier than maybe other art styles that I could have tried to learn. And yeah, 3D, I like 3D. I enjoyed the 3D work that I did in college, for instance, but it's just, I think part of the issue is that it's a lot of effort to make 3D games compared to 2D games. Just because you've got 3 dimensions to look, to texture and to model and all that stuff. So, hello, Cody, welcome back, I should say. Thomas Drown, welcome to you as well. Weird Pawn Moves, hello, welcome to the stream. Hello, Jackie Daytona, it's time for game dev once again, yes indeed. Would that multiplayer course teach me how to do poker like a multiplayer game? You will learn the skills that would be necessary in making a like multiplayer card game, yes, but this one is like an action game, so it's more real-time updating. But again, like those skills are perfectly transferable, because really the thing about making multiplayer is just like wrapping your head around how to synchronize data across a bunch of clients, and also to how to have like a server authority, and that course goes over all that stuff. So it should be transferable to any other kind of online cooperative or competitive game you'd want to make. Try to get AI to help me make a 3D one-way platform. I just made it way too complicated. Just used my brain. It worked in 2 seconds. Yeah. I prefer 2D games over 3D in general. Welcome back, Lunatic Edit. Ahoy. Welcome, Anykey. Great to see you again. Moonlighter TV. Welcome. Really good looking 2D is always better than basic 3D. Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's my personal experience is it's easier to make a 2D game look good compared to a 3D game. And of course, you know, managing performance is a lot easier in 2D as well, because it's basically like, performance, what do you mean? I'm just writing stuff and it works. Anyway, I enjoy 3D modeling, but texturing is too hard for me. See, I saw a Zeet the other day, a post on X, where a 3D artist was doing the UV unwrapping and stuff. And he was like, please, can we get AI to do this for me? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. If you could get AI UV unwrapping and texture mapping tools, that would make 3D a lot more enjoyable for sure. Marcos, good morning to you as well. Cat Hugger, welcome back. I'm just starting? Is that what you're trying to say? Looks nervously at Dwarf Fortress, yeah. Hello, Rentar, welcome. Imagine if the time and effort put into Skyrim as a 3D game was instead put in 2D game, it'd be 10 times bigger with way denser content. Yeah, you might lose some of the charm though, like the 3D physics stuff where you can like put baskets over people's heads, and then you'd have to do that in a more direct and explicitly supported way, but it could definitely be done. I'm starting to learn more of an artist than a programmer, and I have ideas of the style I want to use once I find my groove. Gotcha, nice. Having an art style in mind is always knocks down a big issue with starting a new game. Welcome, Snupbill. Yummers indeed. Always great to see you all. All right, so let's see. So yeah, with my little wave function collapse algorithm here, I'm ending up with a situation where if I look at my logs here, oh, that's not right. Let's do this. Board configuration editor. Run test. So if I run this scene, I have it generate 5,000 boards. And then I can see what the distribution of all the cards is across those boards. And one of the issues that I'm encountering is that the larger cards, because they have more constraints just based on like how you can place them, they end up being a lot less frequent than I would like. So for instance, in here, we've got the windmill. Out of almost 46,000 cards placed, it only gets placed 113 times. So I think that's, last time I did the math, it was roughly, what was it? Is it 0.3 or 3%? It's 0.3, I think. Oh my gosh, I just did this math a little bit ago. 113 divided by 46,000. Yeah, so it's, 0.25%. So 0.25% of the time the windmill is being placed. So yeah, that's not ideal. Out of 5,000 boards, it gets placed. Well, no. Yeah, 0.25% of the 46,000 cards placed are windmills, which is not great because I think there's only 12 cards. So that's an abysmal ratio. So I've been trying to tweak the card placement algorithm to put some biasing in favor of the large cards. But one of the problems that I'm running into is that because of the way the card placement works, every card has a top left cell, which is like its root cell. So the root cell of this scarecrow here is this, I don't know if you can see that, but this top left cell here on the grid, this is the root cell for the scarecrow. And so that means that on a board of this size, it can only be placed in these two cells, 0, 0, and 0, 1. And so that ends up being a problem because if those cells get filled up first, it basically just can't be placed anywhere else, right? And this is even true on the larger boards, right? So it can only be placed here, 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 and here. So there's a very narrow range of tiles that it can actually be placed at. And if one of those tiles, for instance, if this gets, oh, I can't clear the board. But if one of those tiles gets placed with like a card like this, then that further limits it. Now it can only be placed in one of these two cells, right? So that's very unfortunate. And I'm just trying to figure out various ways of alleviating that with the wave function collapse mechanism here. And I don't really know what I'm doing, so it's going to be a little bit of an exploration stream. Good morning, it's 5 p.m. here. Good morning, Joel. Or good evening or good afternoon for you. So what I've tried to do is there's this select random card ID. So there's the entropy system, the lowest entropy tile. What I might do is I might... So anyway, it gets the lowest entropy tile, which is just based on how many possible cards can exist at that tile. But the problem in this get lowest entropy is that this possible card IDs is only being modified based on the synergies on the board, which is this whole block right here. Anyway, a synergy is basically like if a card can benefit another card or if the placed card can benefit an existing card. So, but it does not account for size. And so what I'm doing up here in this select random card, is I'm first filtering out any card that is not placeable at the given position. and then applying the filters, the rest of these filters, which are just additional biasing and whatnot. But ultimately what I do is I have this weighted loot table where it goes in and it adds all of the filtered cards. So that's going to ultimately be all the placeable cards. And then it weights the larger cards to be higher. So I don't really know. So I think the problem is just that the larger cards have a much narrower band of tiles they can just be placed at, period, right? So a 1x1 card can be placed anywhere on the board by definition. So I could place this here in the top right corner here, but this card cannot be placed in the top right corner because it goes off the board. But it also can't be placed here. It can be placed here, here, or here. So there's only 3 cells now remaining where this card can be placed. I think that's probably a factor that I need to account for. I'm curious to see, I wonder if I just bias, if I bias the entropy for, entropy plus equals kvp dot key, which is a vector 2, dot length squared. If I just bias it so that cells that are further away from the top left of the board have a higher entropy. I wonder what that would do. I wonder what that would do. Let's see. I'm extremely happy our family vacation was rescheduled so I can participate in GMTK 2025. Oh, very nice. That's next week. What's the wave function collapse part mean? That's a very fancy way of basically saying that if you have a grid-based layout, all of these grid cells have potential cards that can be placed at them, right? So all of these cells have potential cards. And when I place a card that has a synergy, like the cat here, and I place that here, what that should do is that should collapse the possibilities of a certain number of other tiles. So in this case, the cat just deals 4 damage per allied ritual card anywhere on the board. So what my algorithm does is it selects a handful of cells and it says, okay, for all those cells that were selected, we're going to remove from the possibility list any card that is not a ritual card, right? And so let's say that the cat modified these 2 cells, this one and this one. Then what is going to happen is only ritual cards can be placed there. So I can place the ritual there, and I think the torch is also a ritual card, so that can be placed there. And so that's basically, that's what the collapse is. It's a very fancy name for something that's ultimately very simple, which is just basically shrinking down the possibility of each cell based on what has been placed already. And what you do is to choose which tile to place a card at next, you choose the cell that has the least number of possibilities, basically. That's what the word entropy means. So the lowest entropy means the less variability, right? So lower entropy, less variability. And so if you pick a cell with less variability, that's kind of accounting for the constraints that are already on the board, if that makes sense. So that's the way that the algorithm generally works. Okay, all right. I think maybe did my biasing work a little bit? I'm still not seeing any windmills, but there was a scarecrow there. There's another scarecrow. I don't want to make it use too many big cards, but... I wonder why the windmill still isn't being selected very often. Anyway, let's run a test now. We'll see what happens. What are you working on? Missed last streams. Is it procedural board gen? Yeah, procedural board gen for a little bit at least. Nikesh, welcome back. You like it 2D board because many indie games use it? Yeah. Hello, Kelso. I work double time in a day. I don't know about that. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Hello, Adam. Welcome. Good morning to you. Always good to see you. Photon receiver astrophotography. Hello. Just started learning game dev using Godot. I have some experience in Lua of all things, and the syntax and logic changes are making my brain hurt. I really enjoy the art style you have going on here. Is your experience in Lua at all related to your astrophotography? I don't know. It sounds like that might be a hobby of yours. Oh my gosh, Adam. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome back. Good morning. Yes, let's go. Good morning, Raphael. That's a good one, yeah. Okay, so it's a way of checking what's possible to put down on the grid. Yeah, essentially, yeah. We got wave function collapse in a Fire Valley game before GTA 6, yes. Yes, indeed. You might get my game before GTA 6, to be honest. So this is a better ratio. It's still bad. 170 divided by 36,000. So now it's the windmills being generated 0.4% of the time. What else would I need to do here? Let me think about this. So I don't know if that's the right way of doing it. I wonder if this is a problem. This needs more damage. I'm going to start just trimming things here. I'm going to start trimming some of my filtering. I'm just going to get it down to bare bones and see what that does for the select random card ID. So I think the problem here I almost think that I need to put this can place card position in the entropy section. Let me think. Let me think. Okay, that should have generated a couple of boards here. Oh, interesting. It looks like, yeah, it looks like that's much better now, actually. So I think that was the needs more damage. Let me think. So if I take this, if I put this needs more damage back, is that going to also crunch down my windmill? So I had a problem earlier, a couple days ago, where some boards were being generated that didn't have any damaging abilities, and I attempted to fix that by biasing. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that occurrences is very low again. So I think it's this needs more damage that's causing this issue. So that was 210 windmills. And let's see, it should go back up to roughly 1500. My son wants to know what your favorite card is you have made so far. Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. I really like the Barkeep. I think the Barkeep is cool in terms of the art. I forgot. Let's see. I really like the Medusa head as well. I like the Barkeep. Oh, the Imp though, the Hellspawn Egg and the Imp. Yeah, those are like my 3 favorite ones, I think. So the Barkeep, the Hellspawn Egg, the Imp, and the Medusa head. Although the cat turned out really good too. The cat here. So I don't know. I have a lot of favorites, I guess. I like the Scarecrow too. Dang. I don't know. It's a tough question. You're asking me to pick a favorite of all of my babies. I would say if I had to nail down one of, I would say the Barkeep. Yeah, Barkeep is my favorite so far. Although the Phoenix too. I don't know. Lua was more for computer craft and modded Minecraft packs, but I have used Python to make scripts for the program I used to stack and edit my photos, but that's very basic stuff. Gotcha. Okay. That's cool though, yeah. Computer craft and modded Minecraft. Modded Minecraft goes crazy. Mine is the Phoenix or the Barkeep. Yeah. I love the cat. The Imp, you like the Imp? Phoenix, yeah. I'm doing well. How are you doing, Nithron? Welcome back. Great to see you. 3 stream in a row that I'm watching. Excellent. Welcome. Great to see you again. So the windmill went from 210 to 1702. So that is definitely making an impact. And look at these numbers. These are all very close together now. Much closer together. So the ox was placed 2,500 times. The cat was placed 2,700 times. 1,700 times for the windmill. 2,500 times for the Barkeep. The chicken was placed 5,500 times, 5,400 times. Which is to be expected. Like the 1x1 cards are going to be more common just because they have a much reduced space constraint. I mean, you could say they don't have a space constraint. If there's an empty card on the board, then they can be placed. Now, one thing that I'm worried about is it filling? Okay, no, it still has empty spots. That's really interesting. So the Scarecrow here copied the cat's abilities, and it's also highlighting these other ritual cards when I hover over it. That was not intentional, but that works. Oh my gosh, did you see that board with 3 oxen? Yeah, so this is working pretty well. I don't know, do I need that more damage thing? I don't know if I need that. I guess what I could do is generate a 2x2 board. So here is an issue right here, right? A board that just has a windmill on it is not going to work, right? A board that only has a Barkeep on it is also probably not going to work. But I think I filtered that out. So I think if I do this now, let's put this filtering back. This filtering is designed to prevent that situation. So if wood fill remaining space and there's no synergies, or wood fill remaining space and it has no compatible interactions. So those are a little bit different. I'm not going to go into what exactly those are doing because I don't remember, but if I do that, that should prevent like a 2x2 board from containing a windmill because that can't do anything. Good morning, Ninja Link. Phoenix or cat for me. Firebird, too powerful. Yeah, Firebird is really cool. Firebird, that should be my name. There should be elemental bellies as cards. Fire belly, water belly, earth belly, windy belly. Yes. Okay, let's do this now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. In my board configuration editor, I'm going to modify this test here to generate a 2x2 board. JSON property public int boards without damage. No. Set. Okay. So boards without damage. Am I still... Oh yeah, I am. I put up, I have the .NET build watch, so it's compiling for me as I make changes, which I think speeds up the speed of running the project from the Godot editor, I think. Because I think Godot detects that it doesn't need to be built, and so it can just continue on. So boards without damage. So what we're going to want to do in here, let's see. I'm just going to copy these things here. If not stats model dot cards placed dot, no, not stats model. Model dot card positions dot values dot any. X dot has ability of type. X dot has ability of type. Fire. Then we're going to do stats model dot boards without damage increment. Okay, and now let's run this. Firebirdie. I support elemental bellies. Gotta add the E. Yes, gotta add the E. Okay, let's see what happened. So it generated 86 boards without damage. So I think I still need some kind of damage biasing in here. But I don't think I need to make it as sophisticated as I thought. Let's just change this. If needs more damage. Well, let's see. Get lowest entropy tile. Okay. So if needs more damage, we're going to change this. I'm just gonna remove this. Return board inventory component dot get cards, get card count. So I'm just going to change this so that if there are no cards placed on the board, it's going to place a damaged card first. And then I'll let the wave function collapse do the rest of it. So there's going to be at least one damaging card on the board. So that... I'll have to examine the statistics here, but let's see. So boards without damage is now 0. And we can look at all of this stuff. And we can see that, yeah, certain cards are not being placed, like the windmill, which is good. So now let's bring this back up to, or generate a 4x4 board. And we'll run this, and we'll just make sure that didn't knock anything out of whack here. I think the unintended consequence here might be that it's always going to place a damage card in the top left cell, though, which is not ideal. But let's look at the stats again. So we have 0 boards without damage. And the windmill is still being placed relatively often. So I should have 12 records in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, 13. Oh, I can't count the training dummy. So there's 14 here, but without the training dummy, that's 13. Okay. I should put a log in that as well. So let's do this. Let's modify this a little bit. JSON property public int unique enemy cards available. JSON property public int unique enemy cards placed. Stats model. Stats model dot unique enemy cards available is equal to card registry dot enemy IDs dot count or length. Godot always recompiles, doesn't it? I don't think so. No, I think Godot will detect if the build needs to be built. It seems to be faster. I mean, we can do an experiment, I guess. So yeah, unique enemy cards available 13, and it placed all 13 of those at least in one board, but realistically, we're getting them placed thousands of times. So this is pretty good. So yeah, 1200 out of 3600, that's a much better ratio for the Scarecrow. So if we do 1200 divided by 3600, or 36,000. So the Scarecrow now is getting placed 3% of the time, which is fine, because that's roughly in line. If we were to take 13 times 3, what? Why am I doing that? Never mind. I guess if everything had a roughly 3% chance of being chosen, but that's not the case. The smaller cards are going to be able to be placed much more often, obviously. But here, let me see if my intuition is correct here, that the top left cell will always contain a damage card. Yeah, so that's a problem. Because that's just, I just don't want there to be any predictable patterns in terms of where cards get placed. So having the top left cell always be a damage card is a little bit weird. So I'm going to make another modification here. I guess I'll stage what I have. So this get lowest entropy tile, I'm going to change this to if is board empty. I will add that distance biasing in here. I actually don't even know if I need that distance biasing still, but maybe I do. So so basically what this is doing is because the larger cards always have a subset of tiles they can be placed at that are grouped in the top left of the board, what I'm doing is I'm just making it so that tiles that are farther away from the top left corner are having their entropy increased, which just makes them less likely to be chosen as the next tile to place something at. So let's go ahead and run this now. So when the board is empty, we're not going to be biasing any tiles as the first choice, but then we will bias the tiles later on. So here, oh wait, See, the Scarecrow doesn't have any damage innately, and it got placed in the top left corner. The Windmill doesn't have any damage innately and got placed in the top left corner. So that appears to be working great now. Let's just go ahead and double check the statistics and make sure everything is still roughly good. Yeah, look at that. So the Scarecrow is the lowest propensity thing, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Scarecrow has the largest area. And now what I should also note is that as the board gets bigger, I think that that Scarecrow is going to become more common. So where can I put that? Let's make a 6x6 board and see what that produces. Are you making music in game jams? I usually use public domain music. I have used Beatbox before, but yeah, I just find public domain music instead. You're live every morning working hard. How do you stay motivated or so disciplined? Yeah, it's not a question of motivation. Actually, I am very motivated right now because I'm having a lot of fun with this game. So it's very easy to work. But there have been portions of this game and portions of Gunforge that are just not fun to work on at all. And that just becomes a matter of discipline. You just have to get in a habit of doing work every day. Not necessarily every day, but often enough that you make progress. Yeah, look at that. So let's see. The Scarecrow became a lot more, well, maybe it didn't become more common, but it got placed more absolute times. So this is 78, 655, 4610. Yeah, so the Scarecrow's percentage actually went up with the size of the board. It now gets placed on almost 6% of boards with a 6x6. So with a 4x4, it gets placed, what was it, 3.5% of the time? And as the board size increases, its chance of being placed goes up as well. So this is actually, this feels very balanced to me. Again, there's going to be differences in these numbers. Now the real question is, what happens if I get rid of this weighted table in here? So I am biasing the larger cards to be picked in this weighted table. I have a feeling that if I remove this, then I'm going to get some abysmal ratings again, or abysmal ratings, abysmal statistics. The WFC algo chooses a random cell at the beginning to collapse. Why not choose a card with bias first, as long as everything is empty anyway? That's what I am doing. Yeah, that's what I am doing. So I added in a bias. It always places, the first card it places on a board is always going to be a damage card. And then the rest of the algorithm just kicks in after that. Hello, Matthew. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's see. Yeah, the Scarecrow went down after I got rid of the biasing. Total cards placed also went up. I had 10,000 prayer beads placed. And 18,000 chickens. So I think I definitely want that biasing in here in this weighted table here. Now there's one other thing that I want to experiment with, which is that, so in the card selection phase, let me think. I don't know, maybe I should just stop there, because it's feeling pretty good right now. The other thing I might do is I might modify the actual get lowest entropy tile. I might put the card placement check in here instead. Would that help at all? Yeah, I'm going to experiment with that later, I think. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with how it's functioning now, so I'm just not going to mess with it anymore. We don't have to spend the whole time experimenting here. Biasing the first card to be a big card, excluding the ones that fill the whole area of no damage, and biasing the second card to be a damage card would give the big cards a better chance. Well, the problem with that is I can't... If I bias the second card to be a damage card, it may not be a synergy with the large card that was placed. So if I place a windmill item, this only benefits minion cards. I guess it would still kick in with the entropy. So I'd have to select a minion that has damage as a card adjacent to it. I think I'm pretty happy with how it's working right now. How often is the chicken being placed? Yeah, so previously without the weighted card or without the card size biasing, there was 18,000 chickens being placed. That has been cut in half basically. Or 40% or whatever. And we can just do a quick like smoke test too. I can just click through this and see that, yeah, the boards are being generated in an interesting way. Like there's a scarecrow there. I like the new villager sprite. Villager looks better now. Very cool, very cool. Now, what does this look like in game? I still need to get my balancing correct, but cat 1, prayer beads 3. Chicken dog Muttonstein. Let's go to the cat. Heal 8. Oh, the cat critted me. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely need some balancing to do there, but that's all right. There's no synergies on this board, which is really interesting, which is totally fine. Oh, this is actually a tough board. Am I gonna die? No, I think I'll be fine. Oh, no, I'm fine. Wow. That was actually a pretty tough board. Cool. Barkeep chicken. So much currency. Way too much currency, but that's all right. Way too much. Cool. All right, so I think what we'll do next is maybe do some new cards. Ritual cards. I'm running out of space. Okay. Might as well just give this a full test. This is the boss board. I need to update the boss board for sure. I don't think this has any bonuses. No, it doesn't. Okay. Boss has 36 health. Very nice. Okay. Lots of work to do still, but that's all right. Tweaks to board generation. All right, what should we do next? Let's take a gander. I think I fixed that. I fixed that. Art, maybe? We got some more relics to do, maybe? Or artifacts? I kind of want to do this one. For the boss, I think this handcrafted boards would be better. I don't think so. I think for the boss, what I'm going to do is I'll make special boss cards that you can't encounter outside of boss encounters. I'll make those cards guaranteed to be placed on the boss board, and then I'll just generate everything in accordance with that. At least that's the approach I'm going to take first. Because I still want the boss encounters to feel unique. And if I just have a small pool of them, I don't know if that's going to be that interesting. That was a boss board weaker with some of those normal encounters. Yeah, it was. Broken sundial. That one would be kind of difficult. Chance for effect to apply twice. Oh, I did this one already. That makes sense, yeah, I think so. I kind of want to do this noble pedigree one. What do you think about setting a name for each encounter and displaying it below the board? What purpose are you thinking the name would serve, Viscuits? Assets, artifact. I want the names to be randomly generated so I can screenshot funny entries and submit on my Reddit account for big updates. Okay. Oops. Okay. I don't really know what to say. I'm making a scroll with a seal. I wonder if I should make this darker. Okay, I think it's okay. I almost think that this needs to be, yeah, like that. Oh, that's better. Okay, I think that's good. What do we think? Decent? Good morning, Schlurgy. So you could give bosses a name and other encounters gives players an idea of what it is they're fighting. Instead of 2 villagers and a dog and a sword, instead you fight boss name. Yeah, I mean, that would work for the boss fight, but the problem is the boss doesn't appear on the map, so I wouldn't really have anywhere to display it. Double Big Mac with cheese today. Are you kidding me, Emerson? Double quarter pounder with cheese. Yes, thank you, Schlurgy. What is the bottom of that scroll supposed to be? Like the rolled up underside? Yeah. Yeah, like if you've got the scroll rolled up, you know, you can see the interior portion a little bit here. I think I figured out why my game kept crashing yesterday. I was emitting a signal and then a function that responded to that signal emitted again, so you know, infinite signals. Oh yeah. That would do it. That would do it. I am sorry. It's okay, I forgive you. Double quarter's the best. Yes, thank you, Crames. Thank you. Looks like a scroll to me. Good. Just thought during combat at the bottom of the... on the bottom of the board. I got you. I gotcha. What are your thoughts on Nashville hot chicken? Never had it. I'm not a fan of spicy food, and I'm also not a fan of fried chicken generally. I mean, fried chicken's good, don't get me wrong, but if I'm choosing to eat something at a restaurant, it's not going to be fried chicken. Okay, I guess that's fine. So now we gotta implement that. You're missing out. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Doesn't like chicken because he's a health nut that lives off a double quarter cheeseburgers, duh. Yeah, seriously. Everyone knows that grilled beef, I don't even think it's grilled, whatever. Beef is better for you. Beef patties. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Would you say that self-compiling Aseprite rather than spending the 20 bucks? I mean, my opinion around spending money is that if it saves me time, I'm going to spend the money. So a one-time purchase of $20 saves me potentially hours of figuring out how to self-compile and then also compiling it thereafter every time for every update, where I could just spend $20 and like, that's it, you know? So like, I'm a very big proponent of spending your money to free up your time. But, you know, it depends on your financial situation, of course. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we'll implement the functionality for that noble pedigree. So I'll be right back in just 3 minutes, and we'll continue on. All right, I'm back. Let's get into the noble pedigree programming bit. $20 to show your Steam friends you're working on a project and a built-in time tracker. Yes, sir. It's a no-brainer. When you say it that way, it makes sense. It's about the price of 2 double quarter pounders with cheese and a large Coke Zero. There you go. Hello, Rookie Tookie. All right. Yes, we got to make the artifact work now. Artifact resource. So I got to copy this, paste it here, make unique, edit region, kerblam, description, first purchase, the first, oh my gosh, first purchase at every shop is free. Cool. Where is the scripts? Noble pedigree. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Not sure how this is going to work. I guess I would just do this. Okay. Shop container. I don't know how I'm going to do this. How am I going to do this? Hello, the great Levine. Welcome. Great to see you. Hello, Sparrow. Can't wait till they come out with seasoned professional. Oh, seasoned professional Tookie. That's funny. Noble pedigree sounds like dog food. It's not my fault that, you know, all the dog food companies wanted to use the names of royalty for their food. Arion, welcome. Send a signal every time something is bought. Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I think I might already have that. Set price. Set option. Maybe I'll just do this. Public void. Public void clear price override. I wonder if that's going to work. Let's just try that narrowly for now. If, let's see, var has noble pedigree equals artifact manager dot has get artifact. Oh, I have to consider stacking this as well. Noble pedigree stacks is equal to this artifact ID dot noble pedigree. Let's do this. Private void update price overrides. This needs to be an int. Private int. Actually, yeah, we'll do this. If noble pedigree stacks is greater than 0, update price overrides. Set price override 0. Let's do this. If noble pedigree stacks, well, let's see. Var is free equals noble pedigree stacks greater than 0. Why doesn't it like this? Can I not do a ternary operator like this? Only assignment can be used as, okay. Shelves I, set price override 0, clear price override, okay. I need to do the same thing for this. Clear price override, okay. Okay, and then the artifact, set configuration. If I wanted to spend more time on this, I would definitely try to unify some of this stuff, but Update price overrides. Okay, now I gotta edit this, I think. Purchase. Cool. That should work for that. Event pedestal will do the same thing. Price override. Okay. And then I think the last one is the shop artifact here. Cool. And then we need to respond to those purchases. Oh, pedestal purchased. Shop artifacts purchased. Okay, so let's do that. Emit signal purchased. Oh, I gotta make sure that that's working correctly. This needs to be, oh, price override. I almost missed that there. And pedestal. I think that's okay. And the artifact should be okay as well. Okay, perfect. Now in my shop container, shelves I.purchased. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to be very lazy. Private void on item purchased. If noble pedigree stacks greater than 0, noble pedigree stacks minus minus, update price overrides. Okay, let's see if that works. Run map generator. Oh, it's already on shop, okay. Now we can change this so that the generate test map is on, and that should generate only shops. And then I also need to, in my run manager, add that artifact. Game debug.add artifact ID dot noble pedigree. Let's try it with 1 first, and then we'll try it with 2 afterward. Scroll picks up signal and refunds the cost. No, because if you don't have any money, you're not going to be able to, like if you have 0 currency and you try to purchase something, it's not going to let you purchase it if the scroll works by refunding it. The scroll actually has to set the price of it to 0. Look at that. Okay, let's purchase. Oh, that hover state is wrong. So I need to change the hover state. But all the prices went back to normal after I purchased that, which is good. Reduce payment amount to 0 on purchase if shop is already full. That won't work if you're stacking pedigrees as well. If I have 3 noble pedigrees, the first 3 items need to be free. Good morning, Brando. So it's not the first payment is free, stacked multiple times. Yeah, I mean, that could be a change to it, right? So it could be like refunds the cost. It would be a slightly different experience. Don't mind me, I will let you play in background while I do something creative. Thanks. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Hello, Raised Ball. Welcome back. Yo, Yeet. What up? Any relic for shop discount? Yes, that's the relic that we're working on, or the artifact. And welcome back, Dragon Apple. So there's a couple of issues here. This needs to be price override. Shelf. Add clickable validator. Price override. What? Oh. Okay. Sweet. And then it changes all the prices after. Very cool. Now let's add a couple of noble pedigrees here. Let's see what happens. Would you add card removal in your shop? That doesn't make a difference because you can always remove cards. There's this sell board here. If you don't want a card, you just plop it in there and it goes away, and you get money for it. I borrowed that idea from the bazaar. There's no way to discard cards in the bazaar, really. It's just you sell them. Oh, what happens if I buy another noble pedigree? I guess it wouldn't take effect on this shop. Vampire fangs. That. Boom, look at that. Very cool. So I just... Wow. Yeah, you could definitely stack those if you wanted to. I don't think I tested the events, though. Let's make sure that that works. Okay, and now all the prices are back. Sweet. I think that works. There's already the option to sell the card, which acts as removal anyway. Yes, exactly. Hello, Chris. Welcome, welcome. No player should pay to remove the card, not sell it. Why? I think selling... Because, like... Yeah, I think selling is the way to go. Because you could also encounter like a booster option event, which gives you more cards than you have space for, but you might not want the cards. So what you do is you just sell them off and you get money for it. I think it's a nice, elegant way of handling that situation. If you get overflow cards that you don't want or can't fit into your board, then what you get is money instead, right? Slay the Spire is a completely different design. It's a collectible card game where you build up a deck. And so you don't have a limited deck size. In this game, you have a limited inventory space. You can't have an indefinite number of cards. So that's just like a limitation right there. Is like, I would basically have to support the player being able to collect a bunch of cards and never be able to get rid of them unless they pay to get rid of them. Yeah, it's a completely different design. Okay. All right, what's the next piece of art that we're gonna do? We could do another artifact, or we could do what? Imagine talking to the villager card with the pedigree and being like, I own you because the king said so, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, that's the flavor too. This game gives me more of an inscription vibe in general. Oh, thank you. I will take that as a great compliment. You know what we haven't done yet that would be really fun to add is flavor text. Should we do a flavor text stream at some point? Start adding like little pithy descriptions to all the cards. Yeah, I haven't played Inscription. I should play that as well. All right, let's do another card maybe. How do we feel about doing another enemy card? Yeah, you want flavor text? Lore drops, yeah. Any artifact where the money you have, there's a benefit, i.e. more damage. There is not. We can definitely do something like that. Increase damage based on held currency. Yeah, more lore, yeah. Yeah, we'll do some, maybe we'll do a lore stream where we just write flavor text. Because that would be really fun. I think it would be a nice little touch. It would be relatively easy to do. Should definitely play it. The map events are awesome. Maybe get some inspiration too. Okay. I can definitely do that. More lore sounds funny, so do it. Okay. Maybe if I do another stream today, we'll make it a lore stream. So if you want to not miss out on the lore stream, hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live next. Okay, what kind of enemy card do we want to do here? Mayor, carrots, baker, potato, candlemaker, scarecrow, lamb. Oh, that's a player card though, the sacrificial lamb. Oh no, there's a lamb here too. Oh, I have 2 lamb cards. Oops. That's not ideal. Not my niche YouTuber, give me the YouTuber lingo. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. A lot of these are for like the next level. Ballista, Sweet Roll, Horseshoe, Drawbridge, Village Idiot, Horse Dung. I do not know. Any other suggestions for enemy faction cards? Think village theme, medieval theme. I think the Village Idiot with the crit chance and multiplier thing is cool. This one where we randomize crit chance and crit multiplier. Oh, this one is done. Donkey Mule, that's a good one. Wench who either paralyzes with her looks or drains some currency. The Scarecrow is there, but you already did it. Oh. I guess I could have just deleted it from here. I really don't know what I would do with the Village Idiot, so that might be an interesting one to do. Could I make him an interesting shape? Hello, Rin. Welcome back to the stream. The Jester also works for it. Yeah, I might save that for the Jester, honestly. Okay, so let's maybe do the Village Idiot, and then let's see what ability could we give. So these are abilities that are not in the game currently. This is not a list of abilities that exist. So we could either choose from the library of abilities that exist, or add a new ability. You know what we don't have? We don't have a whole lot of fire damage that the enemy can apply. We need more fire damage cards, so maybe the Village Idiot can, like, be a pyro. What is the word? I don't remember. Maybe you can like fire. The village idiot can do fire damage. What do we think about that? IDK if the fire would be thematically accurate. Yeah, maybe not. Horse dung, really? Yeah, dude. You don't want to see like a little horse dung card with some flies flying around it? A Bible? Oh, maybe. Maybe the idiot attacks randomly, player and enemy. That could work. Pyro idiot, I love it. Maybe he can also accidentally attack himself. I do need more fire abilities, but yeah, I think you're right. It doesn't fit with the village idiot. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking like I want him to affect cards in his row. I want him to affect cards in his row, I think. What would be awesome? The fire? Necromancer manual? I think I have a tome written down already. Let me think. How do we make an incompetent person be useful for their group? Think people. Yeah, seriously. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Fire spitter like in the circus? Yeah, something like that. I mean, the blacksmith could do fire damage. I have a blacksmith written down here somewhere. Don't I? Oh, do I not have one? What is an incompetent person going to do? Think, everybody, think. Yeah, holy smite. Yeah, things like that. Yeah, exactly. What about cool drinks vending machine? Okay, vending machine is definitely not thematic. What if he has a range of damage from 0 to X and he has like a 50% chance to do damage? Okay, yeah, that's a good one. I think what I would do is I would simplify that a little bit. I would give him a relatively high damage, but give him like a 50% chance to miss. Yeah. So we'll do... Okay, that should be fine. A Night Watch character with a torch in hand. Ooh, Night Watch, yeah. And I actually have a torch card, so I could make it like specifically benefit from the torch. What about a talisman? We have talismans, yeah. Bone necklace. Okay, let's do this. We'll make the village idiot and we'll do chance to miss. Okay, that means that we gotta go in here. Now the question is, what size do I want to make him? Kind of want to do this shape here. Yeah, maybe this shape or this shape. Trying to think of what it would go in there. Kind Could also use the 1x3 here. My vote is for a big bosom wench. Yeah, I want to do a big bosom wench soon. I'm barely getting good at drawing people, so I'm kind of like holding off until I'm more confident about being able to draw that. What are you drawing? We're doing a village idiot. Is the scarecrow working now? It is, yes. The scarecrow is working. The scarecrow is indeed working. Okay, so this is going to take a while, so let me think. I think I want to try to put the village idiot in here. So we're going to try to fit him in here. He's going to have like a weird pose, like maybe he'll be holding something out or something. So his body will go here, and then he'll have like his arm out or something. He could be holding a drink, or he could be holding something. That's saved as a PNG. Okay. Village idiot was my idea, so I ain't mad at you. Yeah, it was your idea. You've had a lot of ideas in this game. This is like half your game almost. No, it's like probably like 3.2% your game maybe. No, probably like 1.8%. No, it's probably more like 0.25%. There's some amount of percent that you have influenced this game. And no, I will not be paying you royalties. Make him lazy like sitting on something. Ooh. What if he was sitting like here? Like he was sitting like this with his legs down? Although it's going to be hard to crunch him into that. I like how the percentages kept going down, yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to take another quick break in preparation for doing this work. I know I just took one, but got to get ready for this work. So I'm just going to be gone for like 2 minutes at most. Now when I come back, we're going to try to draw the village idiot. So keep throwing your suggestions down. I'll be taking suggestions about what he can look like or what he could be doing. So if you've got more, put those in the whatever, the thing right there, the chat, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see what happens. Maybe that will work. Yeah, I realized it's being recorded. Yeah. Thought like making him bow to something. All right, let's see. Village idiot. I gotta get into the idiot mindset. Kind of making him like dancing. I'm gonna see how well that works. We're gonna see how well this works. I can move this all up, I think. Give more room for his feet. Oops. I think I had it before. Something like that, maybe. Just make him like really contorted and twisted like a maniac. Maybe another idea. What is the wood with the holes for the head and the hands called? Oh, the stockade. Stockade, right? Scarecrow. Searching for village idiot brings up a picture of someone trying to kill a bee on their nose with a hammer aimed at their head. Wow. You can have one of these. Yeah, yeah. Looks like he's making some kind of nonsense public declaration. Yeah. Looks, looked German at first, yes. Hey, which Godot tutorial is the best to start with on your Udemy page? Probably the Vampire Survivors course one. That's like the most comprehensive for making like a single player game. But I've got a C# one, and I've also got the online multiplayer course ones. But I'd recommend the Survivors one first. Looks to me like he's reaching in the cookie jar. Hello, Kelso. We're gonna be refining this. We'll see how it goes. I want to give him some hair. Okay. I don't know if I want to make his... Well, we can make his face orange, I guess. Gotta make him have like a big mouth. Big mouth, massive jaw, I guess. Oh my gosh, that looks creepy. guy looks demented. Okay. Okay, the face is gonna need a lot of work. That's okay. I'm so bad at drawing faces. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna... He's gonna have no face for now. Gonna make him have no face for now. We'll go back to that in a little bit. Oh, I guess this should all be darkened here. Maybe not. Maybe it should be light. It's not really a background element, is it? Okay. Pillory. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the word. What are we working on today? We're working on a village idiot. Hello, Felipe, and welcome to the stream, Define Dottie. Have you ever had fan art of your skeleton character in your games? I have not, no. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. If you are a person who made fan art and I didn't see it, I apologize. But I don't think it's ever happened, no. We need to give him some shoes. Maybe we can give him some, like, fancy shoes? What do we think about the fancy shoes? It's just... I don't know. Like, I was gonna say that this pose looks really idiotic, and then I remembered what I was making. He just needs a face. An idiot with fancy clothes. I thought he would be more rugged and dirty looking. We can fix that. I might have to change some colors around. How is that pose even working? Wait, if it's got, he's like doing this. So if he was facing me, his thumb would be to the left. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Fancy clothes. That means the fancy shoes have to go away then. Maybe we'll just give him bare feet. He looks kind of like a bird, but that's all right. I think generally people that are a little bit disheveled kind of look like birds anyway. Don't tell anyone I said that. I'm just wondering if I could make one for you for fun. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could definitely make one. My poor English messed up typing. That's all right. If you want to make him look stupid, put a red hat with white writing on his head. Oh, okay. All right. Hello, Emerson. Or I already said hello to you. Why am I saying hello? You don't get a hello. Okay. Let's start with maybe the eyes. Can I do better eyes? Do I need to change the color of his hair? I don't have good hair color. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. Do I need to change? Oh man. What am I gonna do here? We'll just lean into the bird aspect of it. Dude, why are faces so hard? Come on, bruh. Bruh, come on. Bruh. Alright, let's just start over with the head. I'm also going to put a little bit of something in here. So I wonder if this should be joined up here. Oh, that probably works better. Well, hello, howdy, yeah. Give him beautiful green eyes. Part-time puzzle? Okay. Oh, you know what I could do? Let's do this. Let's try let's just give him a hat. So we're going to take part of Adam's suggestion. It's a little bit too wide, I think. I don't know. It's always the nose that I have a problem with. Now the head is too small. How in the world am I supposed to do this? Maybe we'll start with the eyes. Give him red eyes to start. I don't know. This is too darn hard, man. I don't like drawing people. I don't like drawing people at all. This freaking sucks, man. All right. Okay. We'll figure it out. Yeah. What has the idiot turned into? He's an idiot. Could do profile, have his face sideways. I'm trying to do that, but then the nose doesn't look good. Looking at old drawings, paintings, usually the idiot wears a bucket-shaped leather cloth hat or something. I kind of have that. I got jump scared. Lots of times you can just skip the nose and the result will be good still. Okay. Actually make his idiot eyes look so wide and big. I could do that. Oh, that's too wide. See, the problem is I don't have a whole lot of space here. Nope, this is terrible. This is absolute garbage. Absolute 100% total and utter garbage. Okay, let's try again. I keep wanting to draw a shape like that, but it just doesn't work. I also don't know how I'm supposed to do eyes. Okay. Ooh, that looks kind of good. Okay. All right, never mind. I don't know why you guys are freaking out about this. Should I make his hat blue just to break up the monotony of the colors? It looks like, kind of like he's got a helmet on now. That's kind of funny. Oops. Tilt the head like he's laughing with his chin up. I am not gonna do that. I struggled too much. But thank you for the suggestion. If you want him to do fire damage, maybe make his hand on fire. I don't think he's gonna do fire damage. No, I don't think so. I'll do something else for the fire damage. Kind of looks like Machamp. I don't know what that is. The arm looks a little bit weird, in my opinion. It looks more like a zombie. Yeah, it's supposed to look weird. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what Machamp is. It's not a helmet. It's a helmet, a tinfoil hat. The problem is, like, this all is too... This is all too monochromatic. You're monochromatic. Oh, well. Yeah, well. Should I just lean into the monochromatism of it? He's just all purple, or all, not purple, warm colors. I've been gone for a minute and this looks horrifying. I want to buy a nice office chair, but my cat will destroy it. Yeah, cat owner problems. Goss code chairs it is, yes. I don't know. I think what's probably an issue actually is this. Let's play with the colors a little bit here. What? Okay. Oops. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay, well. This looks like a demon. Gonna have a dance-off battle with you. Hello, Aragoth. Now this one definitely doesn't look like a goose, yeah. Sleep paralysis demon who puts you to sleep for 3 turns at the start of battle. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe try making the face orange and then just use 1 white pixel to make a little tooth. Well, I did do that here. I don't know. I added a pause menu last night and I hit my head against it for like an hour, only to find that there was another UI element that was full rec that had mouse filter to stop in front of it. Yep. That will bite you a number of times before you start saying, all right, I just need to set mouse filter to ignore on everything unless I need it. Do not dare bully this village idiot. Yeah, I mean, how are we feeling about this? I kind of feel like it's not working. Now, the question is, though... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it works. I don't think it works. A gentle but firm no from me. Give him a mask. I don't have any room to do that. Copy the first sprite face and put it on the last one. I think it will work. This one? No. Nope. I don't think it works. Do you have a graveyard keeper enemy? Feels like that should be a thing. You can maybe put a creature on the player's side in the ground and deactivate them temporarily. That's a good idea. Wooius. I like that. I'm new to game dev. What would you say is a good way to deal with composition and state machines since they both have logic and state? Yeah, your state machine should just drive the components. That's the way that it should work. So the only game state that your component should have is like if you have a health component, then it has a health state. But in terms of what you do with that health state, that should be driven by the state machine. I should also mention that I don't do state machines as a node-based implementation. All my state machines that I write are pure scripts. I don't know if that helps. Okay, well, I don't think this is working. I'm not going to use this. I'll have to try again. Do a completely different approach. Right, buddy? Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we try and we fail, and it doesn't work out. And it turns into a garbage piece of art, and then you feel like a failure. And then you spiral into depression, right? I'm kidding. If I had a nickel for every time I drew a piece of art that didn't work and that looked bad, I would have many nickels. Someone make it their PFP to remind... No. I guess it doesn't matter. You can go back in the VOD. Whatever, man. Whatever. Well, that escalated quickly. I also do prefer state machine as code. It does help. Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, that'll be it for the stream today. I think I'll take another stab at drawing that another time. Feels bad, man, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That happens. Sometimes the things you try in game dev just don't work, and you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. So anyway, it's better than all my art. Yeah, well, Not if you practiced, I'm sure. Not if you practiced. This game looks amazing. You haven't scrapped anything before. Just pulling your leg, yeah. Try the sitting pose. Well, I wanted to use that card shape. I wanted to use this card shape, but maybe sitting would be good. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. Be good or be good at it. All right, well, that'll be it for the stream. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you all for being here. And again, if you want to support my work, I've got the co-op multiplayer course available for purchase. Again, this is a great way to support me, and it's also a great way to learn how to build games in Godot, particularly multiplayer games. I also have other courses available for purchase, so you can check those out if you're interested. And Gunforged is on Steam, so yeah, check that out too. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I may stream later today, so hit the notification bell to be notified if I go live, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye, everyone.